Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for coming to this second webinar hangout. It's like an ongoing prototyping of what we call the Impact Navigator. And we had one opening session yesterday where we looked into what different people are doing in general, what challenges they have, what passion they have, and how we maybe best can support them in the future here. And that's what the discussion is about. We have some really interesting people here. Some faces I can see from yesterday. That's great to see you again. And also we have some new people here, and we will continue tomorrow and hopefully several days ahead here. So it's like an introduction part of what we are doing. And maybe we can start with Dave there. I don't know if you're where you are now, but I think you're in another part of the world than me at least. So hopefully we can hear from you.
Was that me, Bert?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So I'm in New Zealand. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to be very quiet because I'm in my brother's house. I have a business called Starfish Consultancy, which is based on a Starfish business model. It deals with community development and emerging technologies. We have a holistic look at things from economics to built infrastructure to natural capital. I'm just on my way to the capital city to talk to Treasury about genuine wealth indicators and to talk to philanthropy organisations about some of the work that we're hoping to do this year around some of the poorer regions, looking at new ways of harvesting terpenes from native plants, so we can both protect the environment and tap into the sort of the new emerging medical areas. Also working on a project called a talking forest to personify a forest and give it a voice. That involves a maker movement and children creating media to tag significant trees and things. And we have an architectural project as well. We designed a large urban village for Christchurch, New Zealand after the earthquake. The idea got rejected at the time because it was too indigenous looking, which is a little bit funny. So anyway, I do lots of different things, and I'm mainly the person that just glues people together.
Okay, great. So let's come back later and see in what way, what needs you see that we can support with in this type of platform or people navigator or whatever. I think that's what we are trying to find out, how we can amplify as much activities as possible here. As you might have seen already, it's quite diverse interests of people, and but there is some similarities, and not the least how to learn to market and how to work with knowledge and getting things to be more effective in this collaboration. Also, we have Kevin there. You have been part a few times before. Well, for people who don't know you, tell about your background and what you're up to.
Sure, absolutely. First off, hello everyone from the United States. My name is Kevin, and I'm absolutely very pleased to be part of this discussion. So my background, I am, among other things, a teacher. That is my primary occupation. So I teach world language and entrepreneurship at a small community college here in New Jersey. Um, Outside of that, and this is probably most pertinent to what we're doing here, I run a consulting organization, a nonprofit consulting organization. So we work with communities around the world, especially in developing countries, and our objective is to help entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs grow and expand their enterprises. The goal here is to facilitate economic development on the local level that is in the hands of the people. So by helping a business to expand, by helping an idea to germinate and become productive, we're creating income for people. We're creating supply chains for people. And with that comes the idea to create employment, jobs, opportunities to amass wealth for other people. And that is a sort of self-sustaining economic development on the local level that my organization tries to facilitate. For those who are interested, I have a link to its Facebook page in the chat group. Feel free to partner with us because partnership is always welcome. Most recently, and I'll probably end here. So in addition to our one-on-one consulting with individual entrepreneurs, we've started to do a series of workshops with the local schools, both high school and in college, wherein we would teach a seminar, but have the seminar be geared around solving a problem for an existing business. So while we teach the students of these programs things like marketing and brand development and other things that are essential to running a business, whether it's nonprofit or for-profit, at the same time, they're getting the chance to put those skills into real-life practice for an entrepreneur that we've partnered with. So we're helping to develop businesses while at the same time develop talent. So that's an interesting program for the year, and we're looking to see how far we can take it.
Okay, great. That's great. Where are you right now in the process since we met via the webinar a few months back? What are you working on right now, recent?
So right now, I mentioned the entrepreneurship seminars in schools that we've been doing. Since we've talked, we've done it at several secondary schools in the area with a lot of success, truthfully more than I expected. So this year what we're looking to do is to basically establish these similar academy programs at the university level. There's one university, Glassboro State University in New Jersey that we're looking to partner with. So we would teach the class, we would run our accelerator, but we're just looking for partnering organizations that we can use to give our students something to work with. We're also open to doing online seminars elsewhere, which we're trying to set up, ideally in Europe and in parts of Africa as well. Those things are open. But that's fairly ongoing. That's fairly new. So for the time being, our success is in the United States, but we would like to take it more broadly if we could.
Okay, great. I see that we can have a bit of echo in the background, but I think it works reasonably well. Maggie, you were here yesterday as well. What is your impression since yesterday? It was the first time yesterday. Maggie, can you hear us? Hello?
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 Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, what was the question? Because there's a lot of interference and interruption, and
I think if you turn your video off, that might help.
sorry?
If you
Turn the video off. Turn the camera off.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Okay. Turn the camera off. You have the video. Turn the camera off.
Just 1 second.
Okay. Turn the camera off. You have the video. Turn the camera off.
Just 1 second.
Okay. Turn the camera off. You have the. Okay, we continue. We have new people entering in here, and as you have seen, maybe for people who are following from outside, one of the channels to challenges of keeping a webinar open, because this happens all the time, is that people tend to join the Hangouts quite late, and they have not muted the microphone. And when they come into it, becomes an echo in the webinar. So that's, but this is part of the big challenges of connecting in this sphere to learn how to navigate all the tools to make the dialogues more efficient and to share and navigate the information. But we continue here to, I think Paz, at least before, was pretty clear. Can we hear you?
Oh, yes.
Great. So what are you doing and what's up?
Okay, so hi everyone. I have a background in computing and creativity. I started when I was a kid, and when I was young, I was much cleverer than my teachers, so I took on interest in education as well, and sort of alternative approaches towards learning. And my background generally is culture, events, impact through music and art, and those sort of things. What happened was I was creating cultural format events and sort of recreation workshops. And what happened, I kind of stumbled along this concept called the social computer that I created, and it took me into this world of, you know, talking to people, national level kind of strategic design and governmental advisors and things like that. And so that took me on a 15-year journey of trying to develop this tool for creating new systems. So we had to, you know, reinvent the economy and the way politics works, and, you know, across the board. But because it was very ambitious and very pie in the sky, so to speak, I then had to spend many years breaking it down and making it more realistic and something that's truly possible to do, and also wait for the ideas that we had to take hold. So things like social media, you know, didn't exist when we started out, and so we had to sort of, you know. So what I'm doing now, I have two things that I think are interesting, perhaps for you guys, and that they're the two things I focus on. I struggle with as well, because I'm very good at some things, and I lack a lot of skills, especially at the commercial side and the administrational side. So the first thing is I'm setting up a company called Starship Computers, and there's a lot of space for technologies to be improved. And I'm a computer guy. I'm pretty much cutting edge at making computers run better and designing better hardware and things like that. So I decided, wouldn't it be great to have a company that puts all its profits into community development and sort of says, you know, if we become the biggest computer company in the world, then the world will be a better place. Because one of the things that lacks from progress is good funding. And so it was, you know, let's make money and give it to projects and start projects for people. And the second project that I think is interesting that I'm focused on now is called the Free Festival. And it's if you imagine something like Woodstock mixed with Burning Man, but then it's focused around the idea of being free. So I call it a free economy, and I'm saying basically, you know, if you exchange without involving money, you know, it's like a big stone soup concept, but you get famous artists involved, and you get, you know, economists and very serious people to come in and sort of what you're doing is running an action experiment. So say if 1,000 or 10,000 or even a million people participate in a free festival, then you can show, look at what came out of this without actually spending or receiving any money. So they're my two key focuses. And I'm really curious to meet people who would be up for helping with those, or see how I could help other people. I have great networks, especially within the creative world. If you don't mind, I'll just pop a couple of links here so you can follow that up if you're interested. So then we can carry on. So the first one is a short video that we saw, which is sort of background into what the research I was doing was about. The second one is the festival. It's just a Facebook page. We're just trying to plan that now this year to launch the pilot. Incidentally, the festival will make a documentary, so that's where the real impact comes. Is you film the whole thing.
If you want to participate, you really want to change the world.
And the third page is thanks whoever's watching that already. And the third page is my computer company, which I've currently put on hold a little bit because I can't seem to be, when it comes to raising the funds to build the prototype, I'm just not good at that side of things at all. And I really lack confidence in that area. So I focus on the festival for the time being because we're much closer to, getting some sponsors.
One thing we try to do in this series is many people seem to have events or activities in various countries. One of the most concrete activities we try to do is to market and to amplify the various initiatives you have there. So we will put up a calendar soon, and if you have some activities ongoing, it can be a workshop or a conference or a summit or whatever, then you can put it in there, and we try to develop a type of self-amplifying tool where we can really get out all the cool stuff that's going on there. So it's a bit of marketing there, and that can help out. And also, of course, that will be supported in crowdfunding. Maybe if you need fellowships programs or apply to accelerators or incubators and the like, that's also a type of bootstrapping into potential funding. So that is what we can try to focus on at the same time as there is a lot of learning in this between space. So it's like a combined marketing and learning at the same time. And Golia have tried here for half an hour, I think, to get in contact with us, but hopefully you can hear us and we can hear you there. Does it work? You need to unmute your microphone. Unmute the microphone.
Okay, are you talking to me?
No, Angolia.
Yes, I can hear you well right now. I think I just installed the program in my computer, and that was giving problems in the beginning, but I hear you quite well. But I haven't followed the discussion from the beginning, but I like the idea that you said that you can provide a platform where we can come in and show our different initiatives and meetings ongoing. Personally, I work with different initiatives in Sweden and in Africa, particularly in Kenya and Tanzania, dealing with water, sanitation, hygiene, health, and solar energy. So I look forward to finding people we can collaborate on these initiatives. Is mainly social entrepreneurship, helping different groups do business planning, doing farming as a business, some providing innovative production techniques, and many other things.
Can you give some examples on what you're working on right now?
Right now, actually, we have helped about 3,000 people in Kenya and about a similar figure in Malawi to actually develop water and food production systems right at the local level. For instance, we have managed to increase the production in both Kenya and Malawi 10 times of the normal harvest that they know for the typical food crops. At the same time, pools, we work with 110,000 people in Kenya and 14,000 people in Malawi to improve their sanitation and food production systems. But concretely, for the last 2 years, we have helped about 3,000 in Kenya and about 2,000 in Malawi. We also have a resource-based management system where we actually carry out baselines together with the help of the Stockholm Resilience Center, and actually have a monitoring system where we can measure results periodically, every year. So it's something that if somebody is interested, I can actually share on paper.
Oh, very exciting, very exciting. Okay, so I think we have Kevin here also active in Africa, and there are plenty of projects in Africa. So I think there should be mutual things we could work around here to.
Excellent. Look forward to that.
We try also there. You might have seen that I opened a few documents in the Impact Navigator group today. It was just a starting point, so feel free there to. If you go into it, you will find it in the Impact Navigator Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I put 4 headlines there and just open the document or add some idea or project or whatever there, and we can aggregate from that information into a more nice place later on. But this is like an early stage aggregating information.
Excellent, I'll do that.
Okay, great. We also have Rafia here from, I think you have a diverse background, so that would be interesting to hear about.
Thank you so much. Hello guys, it's really nice to be part of this conversation. I'm from Pakistan, and I have worked on women in media as a radio program maker, and we were a team of 5 female radio producers who started their work as a radio journalist. And because it's very important to raise issues related to Pakistani women, and it's not only Pakistani women, it's about women. So it was a kind of initially it was a program of 1 year funded by Australian company, and then we had different kind of donors, but unfortunately it always depend on the donors, that if we have funding then we can do it. But since from 2003 till now we are working, but it's on and off. What I wanted to do is that I really wanted to make especially girls and women emotionally stable and financially stable, and for that I want to do something that which can enable them or which can give them skill, so that at earlier sooner the better kind of condition they can start their life, practical life and their educational life both together. So what I had in my mind after listening Kevin, that if we start something like that we have entrepreneurial groups, seminars in school, in colleges, through different kind of activities to connect them with that kind of knowledge which is required to set up their companies or whatever they want to do. So I am interested, and I would like to take help, or I would like to know that how can we do it and how can we connect that community with all this what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Great, and I think it's Christiana, you are from Greece. You were part yesterday.
Yes.
What are your takeaways since yesterday? Did you think about what was being said?
Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. the greatest, of course, is the networking, but also inside the site, the Navigator, Impact Navigator, I saw a wealth of information about tools that we can use in order to progress our work. So it's two things. First, the people, and second, the tools. That's what I have to say about that.
I think most people heard what you are doing there, but for people who don't know it, maybe you can give a short background.
Okay. In my region, in Greece right now, we are experiencing economic and financial problems, and we are trying to revitalize deserted villages to start a new type of economy that would be a healthy economy, also to serve as a human lab for a new kind of economy based in nature and in organic soil and organic agriculture. But we want to do this with the help of the technology. Thus, we would like to invite people to help us trade between communities, our merchandise or whatever we make, and also to prototype, to invite people to come into the village and prototype solutions that they can share with the urban poor. So all in all is to make a new monitored prototype community.
Excellent. So I give the words back to the people here. If you have some comments so far, Dave or Kevin or Lalit. Lalit has also joined. So maybe a few words from here if you can hear us. Lalit is in India.
Yeah. Hi everybody.
Hi.
Good evening from India. Can you hear me properly?
Very good.
Very good. Okay. Hi, I'm Lalit Gautam. I'm from India. I'm a pharmaceutical graduate in ambient marketing and finance. And apart from this, I'm the founder of a social startup. Name is handscard.com. Handscard.com is like all about it's a portal, it's an e-commerce portal for the underprivileged women, disabled kids, as well as the artisan throughout the India as well as the Southeast Asia countries, where I work with that underprivileged artisan to save the indigenous crafts and the culture of that developing countries with the help of a workshop or a model where I gave some education or employment or the financial assistance to them. So with the help of this kind of things, I make them self-employed as well as self-educate, so they can earn their livelihood from selling their handmade products. And in this project, I have a mentor. I have a very good mentor. He's sitting here from the fourth from the left, Kevin Wilson. He's supporting me very well in this startup. And apart from this, I have another startup which is sustainable clothing. Like it's a greensoul.com. The website is not ready, but we have started the prototype of this second startup, which is about the sustainable clothing, where we can use that sustainable clothing, tech wearables, other kind of fabrics, and give some the designs, the latest innovative design as well as the safety design, including the panic button and other things with the help of tech wearable fabrics. As well as the second one in the same startup, the second category is like sustainable, not just eco friendly or just or organic clothing. The sustainable clothing means we have the lots of fabric in India as well as the Latin America or Africa, which created by the hand through the different source of model, like for example in Peru, Bolivia, or even in Orissa, West Bengal. So we are using that kind of fabric and giving them European American designs, and with the help of e-commerce website I'm trying to use that. So this is the two startups. Apart from these two startup, I have a NGO which is not registered yet. Yeah, I'm planning to register that NGO. And like apart from these two, this is the formal startups or formal work. I'm engaged in various different social organization and the social work, like social media with the politics, the local politics related to the social media, where where I work as a coordinator. I did a research, apart from, and I'm also doing the research in the future as well for a political party in India, on the basis of the different, factors like the religious, caste, sustainability, different factors. So where I have to be give them a detailed project, through the help of the social media, just social media, nothing on the ground, to the social media. And after my research, they guys will choose the candidate for the next election, the local election, like the ward election, or that the nagar nigam, that in India it's nagar nigam. So that mayor, kind of mayor election. So the impact of social media, apart from this, I also working with the young entrepreneurs in India, a group of young entrepreneurs from Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, Rajasthan. We all connected with the social media platforms, through the WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter, where we can help the, that I'm not saying the illiterate, that the young entrepreneurs, those who want to do something in their, but they are unable to use such kind of techniques like the technology, or or social media. So we are connecting them, the entrepreneurs which is living in the rural part of India. And like I have some ideas in my mind, but the things is, I want to be go step by step. Otherwise, I have some idea of a donate charity app. It's this is app which I'm going to be start in future. It's a donate charity app, which means like, it's not about the crowdfunding. It's like, if for example, if something's wrong, like for example, if there is an earthquake in Nepal, you can post something. I can post my sweater, I can post my shirt, or any, the cash or something else. You can post there. The people will start bid, or even you can you can sell, or they can just donate. Like for example, if I put my T-shirt there, so somebody from the other country, okay, they say, okay, I want to donate this charity, so they will give the $5 or $2 or $10, whatever, and then buy that shirt and donate to the earthquake or something, some otherness, the other calamities. So this is the basic things about me. And apart from this, I'm a 26-year-old guy, so I'm open to learning from you guys, and like, this is about me. Thanks.
So when do you sleep?
Two. It's like like 2 or 3 a.m. It's a tough, like, this is the question Bert asked me every time. So it's like I sleep around 2 or 3 a.m. and woke up at like 7 or 8 a.m. So
Because
nothing, 3 or 4 hours
seems
of
that
sleep.
you're doing pretty many things and building India from democracy and entrepreneurship and science and
Yeah,
everything.
politics. Yeah, the
So
politics is my first interest, but like, as I told you earlier, like, the in India, if you are not a son of any political leader or the rich, a businessman, then the ticket for a political party is very, very tough for you. So that's why I'm saying maybe I can try my luck in politics in some other country in the future. But India is very tough to be, involved in any kind of politics. But yes, I'm a member of two political party. From one political party where I'm working, and the other political party which is known as the Democratic Party of India, where I am, joined as a member. So this is the thing.
okay, great. Make sure that you connect with each other there. That's maybe most important. I can see in the chat here that many seem already to be connected, and there's a lot of people in the group in general as well who I'm pretty sure would like to connect up. We're
Yeah.
also mentioning politics. Surab, if you're here from Georgia, you're a bit more in that direction or interested. Maybe you can tell about what you're doing there.
Yes, thank you very much for this possibility to introduce myself the second time, and to meet new good people. I am the chairman of NGO Project Invincible Georgia Foundation. We try to build strong civil society like the other NGOs, and to establish some organization of monitoring organization to control the government, the politicians, and so on. I'm a researcher and public administrator. My PhD is directly political science. And of course, we have some trouble with, not trouble, but difficulties from government, because you know that no government in the world wants to be controlled by NGO or social activists. Yeah, they try to block all our monitoring companies, but that is very important when civil society control politicians, because this is the basis of democracy, you know. So we are interested in international cooperation, because only domestic NGOs cannot, will not be able to do this because of limits of resources, and because of the government mechanism machine. They have enough power to block our activities, and if we can do some can establish some international communications, it will be much difficult from government to block these democratic activities. So we are open for discussion, for sharing experience in such way, and of course we are ready to help government and politicians to be more democratic, to be more useful for their people and for the economic. So I think we are doing the good job for all of actors. Thank you very much.
Excellent. You also had some idea from yesterday's webinar, which I understood as the first one you have been part of. How it could be a bit more interesting for people outside the webinar. Do you still have that?
Yes, some ideas. It's I think we need more instrument for cultural dialogue. For example, we can organize some exhibitions for small entrepreneurs. So if some NGOs or commercial entities has some opportunities to help each other, maybe it will be some not a webinar, but some online exhibitions. So maybe that will be effective.
Online exhibitions. How do you think them?
It is, for example, I have some office, and I can invite some people who are interested in buy something. For example, water. For example, they are produce water. We have a lot of water. So Georgian is the one of the great player in Silk Road project, as you know. And we produce water. We have a lot of companies, and for example, in Africa, there are a lot of people who needs that water. So this online, not exhibition, but online meetings can connect our producers of water and African consumers, which maybe it will be a charity or something else. Maybe some guys from German or from USA or from the other countries who can, their ship, for example, yeah, who owns the ship, can help to connect Georgia water producers with that people from Africa who need some water or medicine. So it, I think it will work. I think. Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's go back. I think Maggie Can you still hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, it sounds better now. So maybe you can give some reflections. You were part yesterday also.
Yes, I was yesterday, and it was very interesting. It was an interesting conversation. And what I was thinking, exactly what Rafia said. I agree with her that we need to work on connections and to help to learn how to for example me. I don't know how to make a social enterprise or an NGO, and as I said yesterday, I come from a journalist background. I did different things, so I have a diverse background, if you can say that. Um, I worked for almost 10 years as a journalist here in Arad. I'm from Arad, Romania. Um, I saw a lot of corruption, a lot of things that don't work in the society. So I said, okay, with the journalism, you can show the world what's wrong, but you cannot change so much. So I changed for social worker, and I have a second degree in social worker, and I started as a social worker from zero, let's say, and with an NGO, and now I'm thinking that if I really want to do something for um, so, to have more impact, then I would have to do an NGO that would help children who don't have the possibility, the financial possibility, to go to a good school, or especially poor children, Roma children. We have a lot of problems here in Romania with Roma children and the Roma minority. And as yesterday, there was a lot of talking about 3D thinking in society and as an entrepreneur. And I was wondering that I will have to ask Jake Sim about that more. But I was wondering if we want to build a society, um, a better society, then maybe we need better memes. And maybe you know about Richard Dawkins and the selfish gene, and about so what is a meme is it's information, and information that we share, and as genetic memes, information is spreading and is changing, and we as a society, the human race, we need to build good memes, and memes that improve us and our world. So what I would like to learn here um, in this group is about how to um, raise money for the NGO. I want to start the NGO, but I don't have the money for it. I want to do many things, and hopefully to have an impact on the educational system here in Romania, because there's a great gap between the um, rural and urban area in education here. I did a lot of tutoring here in my home, and there were they came children from the rural area and from the urban area, and there was a great difference in what they learned, and it was the same in the same system, in the same educational system. And there's a lot of difference, great difference between teachers, and between how they share information with children, how they teach, how they look at children. There are here in Romania, there are people who are aggressive. I mean, teachers who are aggressive toward children, toward their students, and there are teachers who are very kind and very gentle, and sort of Adler kind of school where everybody wants to help the child. And I think that this is the way we should do everywhere in the world, to teach a child, and to come to take the child and not only give him information, but help him become um, uh, really a good human being, a good member of society, if you want to say it like that. So this is what I think about for, let's say, 20 years.
Okay, that's really great. I think in general we can start to hear some of the challenges and what you want to build ahead there. We have financing, that's an ongoing discussion all the time, and also of course there to spread the news of all what you're doing here, so we can market the platforms. That's really something that we can help out with, both for maybe supporting in crowdfunding campaigns or finding opportunities where you can at least do some microfinancing and start getting things on the ground. But it's also bigger than just the money. It's building a structure and to learn how to navigate in as a startup here, if you want to, regardless if it's an NGO or if it's a social enterprise or more traditional business. I would like to add that there are some people now outside the hangout. We have maximum space with 10 people, and there are a few people who would like to join. So if someone would be happy to give up the space there, it would be
okay. I will get my space, but I want to advise to Maggie. She actually don't need some money for established NGO. The NGO means the idea and the project. If you make some project or programmer, you can communicate with United Nations or USAID and exactly. So the first is the main idea is your initiative, and the money is on the third or on the fifth place. Thank you for these possibilities, and goodbye.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully we can continue here, but I think we'll have 2 or 3 more people joining in.
Okay, I think that I would like to say goodbye, and I'm going to be listening.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully we can continue here. Okay, Aviva has joined. Can you unmute your microphone there? I needed to mute your microphone. It was an echo when you went.
Hi.
Great.
It's a bit,
Okay, Aviva has joined. Can you unmute your microphone, dear?
I did. Let me try again.
I needed to unmute your microphone.
Hi.
Great. Okay, Aviva, unmute your microphone, dear.
I did. Let me try again.
I needed to unmute your microphone. Let me just give, because this is happening very often, so I will give you this small information why this is happening. Is that you have in the background on your computer, you have the YouTube channel on at the same time, and there is a delay in 2 seconds between the YouTube and the Google that we are sitting in. So that's something to try to keep in mind when you're joining Hangouts like this, that you if you are looking the same time at the webinar and you are joining a Hangout, because that's separate, you need to switch off the sound on the YouTube channel. It can be hard to remember that, but that's why you can sometimes hear a voice with delay. Okay, great. Hopefully you have muted the YouTube there, and then we can listen. But that's why you can sometimes hear a voice with delay.
Okay, so do we have...
Okay, great. Hopefully you have muted the YouTube there, and then we... I needed to mute there, Aviva. You have 2 windows open there. You have one YouTube channel open, and you can take that away. You can click the YouTube away.
Is that better?
Yes, now it seems to work.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's been very interesting listening to everybody. I gather you brought together a group from all over the world, representing different ideas and initiatives. I'm an ecological artist. Lately, I've been very interested in the interface between science and earth rights law and aesthetic ideas. Most recently, I've been working on a project called Blue Trees that is a series of both spatial and acoustic installations in the path of natural gas pipeline infrastructure expansions, which then have been copyrighted. There are several miles of them in the United States. This is a project that's going to continue until the American election day next November. It's based on research I did for my dissertation to the effect that it's possible to identify small points in large systems where artists can intervene and affect significant change of one kind or another. So in this case, it's addressing what is the nature of public good in the legal system internationally and starting in the United States, and how do artists bring forth that conversation about how we can have public good, because there isn't a whole lot of public good right now. And my particular concern is climate change. I don't know if that gives you enough of an introduction.
It's very interesting. I think we were part in a webinar some months back.
Yes, with Sasha.
Yeah, that was a very interesting webinar. I remember now. So you have looked into Eleanor Ostrom and her work, I guess, on commons and polycentric solutions, and like, I guess, resilience.
Yes. Yes, my dissertation crossed over environmental sciences, technology, and studio art. And I've worked in this field for several decades, mostly on restoration projects, ecological restoration, mostly in the Northeast, but I've also studied sites around the world to see where we can intervene in biogeographic interruption. My general concern is what's happening to the water systems around the world, how they're becoming not just depleted from climate change, drought, but poisoned largely by fossil fuels, but other industries, of course. I think we're headed in a very frightening direction where our populations are going to shortly be in conflict with our resources. And the first resource to be concerned about is water, both in the ocean and on land.
Great. Please share some links there, either in the group or here in the chat. I think, if I remember correctly, you have a lot of interesting
information. Do that.
We also have 2 more people here joining in. Garrett, who has been quite active lately and seems to be all over the world in digital media and different platforms.
Thanks, Bert. Do you want me to kick off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Bert. Garrett Presh, I set up the World Health Innovation Summit as a community interest company, a social enterprise, basically because health touches us all. It's a common platform. The idea is that we bring people into the forum that have never had the opportunity to come into that forum, so the likes of the voluntary sector, education, and the business community. And we've got our first event that starts on the 10th and 11th of March. If I give you the example, just from a technology point of view, the likes of Google, the likes of IBM, they all have IT systems that work really well. In the health service, we don't. So let's get them into the forum so that they can share that knowledge. I think we've got a unique opportunity now. You talk about social good. There's certainly a lot of social good in and around the UK at the moment. It might not be reported on, but certainly within the communities it's there. And we've just witnessed a huge amount of social good following the floods up in the north of England. And I can tell you that the atmosphere on the ground is certainly one of change. It's one about social entrepreneurism. It's about the community coming together and to share knowledge so that we all get a benefit. The idea is with the World Health Innovation Summit that's used as the platform that we can share this knowledge. And it's not just health based, so everyone needs to understand that it's for everyone, because it touches us, health touches us all, and we can all impact on it. So that's really it. And what we've done is we started this. I started this just through a single tweet 9 months ago. We've reached about 1 million people through our feeds, and we've touched about 80 countries plus, and we have about 9 to 10 summits arranged over the next 2 years, and we just plan to roll these out everywhere because it's a common platform so that we can all share knowledge. We've divulged now into WIS Kids, which will be for the next generation, because I'm a big advocate for our next generation and ensure that they get involved. And mental health is another area that we're touching into, and it's all about supporting our health services. We're not trying to
I think Jonathan muted. Okay, anyway.
Sorry, did I lose you there?
No, yeah, but continue.
Sorry, yeah. So the basic idea is we notice the current situation is that we have huge problems in the health service around funding, communications, and that. So the idea is for us as a community to help and to support by us coming together and sharing that knowledge. We've looked at. Did I mention the WIS Kids, that we were looking to work with the schools so that we get in at a young age. And that we encourage, health and well-being at a young age. And the same that goes with our mindfulness and wellness programs, and we've launched them in the UK, in Cumbria, and we plan to go to Christiana in Greece and to host a summit there, which will all be around mindfulness and wellness. So it's very much about using health as a springboard to bring our communities together. I can pop a couple of links in the side there, and people can take a look.
That's brilliant. And then soon time for your summit here in March.
Yeah, 5 weeks. So in 5 weeks, we've 30 local, national, and international speakers coming to Carlisle, Cumbria, and then the whole idea is to get these guys in the room. But it's not just a case of, we've all been to these large conferences in the past where you just sit there and you don't get the opportunity really to pipe up, and if you've got an idea, you don't get the opportunity really to put that to the fore. So it's a 20-minute session where these innovators will give their ideas around how we improve care and improve society as a whole, and then there's 20 minutes of interaction with these guys, and we capture that information through the university, publish it in peer-reviewed journals so that it spreads the word, and then we stream it live as well.
Excellent. I hope it's a perfect example on initiatives where we can be supported in this impact journey that we are ongoing, that we can amplify good vibrations around.
Yeah.
Jonathan is also the latest one to join the Hangout, and I think it's full again here. But I think we will summarize in 10 or 20 minutes, and then we can continue the discussion in the Facebook chat. Jonathan, welcome. Can you hear us?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Jonathan?
Is my mic working?
I can't hear you. Hello? Hello? We can't hear you. Okay, any comments so far on the discussion? Jonathan seems not be able to hear us.
I'd just like to make a comment, Bert.
Yeah.
Just around, we seem to all have these problems around funding, and just to say that, if people want to have a look at the model, I'll pop in the pitch deck around the World Health Innovation Summit, and this is how we can support each other. It's very important that we come together and work together, because there's multiple streams of revenue available. If we can work as a team, we can secure this sort of funding. It's very much about your reach, and then we can drive in revenue from those sources and then share it among ourselves so that we have a social benefit. I'm quite happy to help with that.
Great. Great. Okay, you have shared some of the links, and you can share it in the groups as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great. Have a nice day.
I think my mic's working now.
Yeah, perfect. So what are you doing, and where are you?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm working on developing a web app to help people consume sustainably, and it does that by helping them measure, track, compare, share, and reward their consumption of food that is healthy for society, Earth, and the body.
Yes, and you have been working on it for some time. Where are you now in the process?
I'm working with this WordPress developer that's helping me to help me do it, helping program the app. And he's also just helping me with everything in the entrepreneur process.
What do you see as how will the app work? Can you go into it a bit more specific? What's your idea? How will it function?
Yeah. So say you go to the store and you're trying and you wanna shop in a way that doesn't harm the earth or society or your body. So you just you you look at the products and you scan them, and the app will tell you the impact that you make on those systems when you buy that product. And then it gives you, when you buy those products, it gives you a score, and it scores your impact. So you can share your impact with your friends and compete with your friends to have the best impact, the best positive impact.
How did you come up with this idea, and have you seen some similar apps out there that you have been inspired from, or so?
I have I guess a story about how I was kind of grew up in a very oppressive environment, and then I got out of that, and then I realized how you can't really escape oppression, because these corporations all around us are oppressing us, oppressing the environment, society, and our bodies. And and the sad part is that we're empowering these oppressors with our consumption choices. We're giving them the power and the money to continue doing what they're doing. So I learned about all sorts of things, just did a lot of research, and I learned about social change and how to change social systems, and I learned about this thing called gamification, where you can use game elements to kind of motivate people to change their behaviors. So I applied that model to consumption, to help people vote with their dollars.
Do you have some link or some material so far, or?
Yeah, I can share a link right here.
Okay, great. So if you have any ideas there, maybe, or support, then you can share that in the group later. Any feedback so far in the Hangouts? In general, there have been a lot of voices here. I think 12, 14 people have been speaking last hour here, so a lot of different and interesting stories.
I'd love to see some sort of a map of how these different ideas link to each other.
Yeah, that would be great. There are some commonalities in the language I can hear, but there are also different focus areas and different geographies. So that type of map would be really cool to make.
My suggestion to that end, since we have an open Google Doc related to this group, I think it would be helpful if we had just a database, not just of contact information, but who's involved in what. So if everyone's project is listed, then it's a very easy reference point for future discussion.
Yeah, can I add something there? There's an application somebody introduced me to. I was using Facebook groups to try and coordinate things, and they pointed out an app called Podio. I don't know if you know it, but it's one of those kind of content and community management tools that you can pretty much configure the way you want. It's been bought by Citrix, I think, or Cisco. So now they're sort of commercializing it, unfortunately, but it's a very good tool and might be still valuable for this community to be able to segment or interconnect the different interests in a sort of task-based sort of way. It's well worth a look anyway. Anyone who wants to help build
Absolutely.
a team. I think for you, Bert, you've got so many great people here, clearly, and if there was a way, such as Podium, to because we're all chatting here and chatting on Facebook, and we're already, I think everyone here is excited and connecting and sharing ideas and possibilities. It would be great if there was something more than a Facebook group, because that gets a bit.
Absolutely. Let me just give some observation there. I told a little bit initially that we have, I think one of the observations I have done there and listening to quite a few people doing a lot of tools is that one of the hardest things is to get the people to go into other tools. And there are thousands of tools there, and I think it will be more ahead. It will not be less. So one of the ideas of being an impact navigator is to learn to go into tools quite quickly and to adapt to it, because if they see some certain functions there that are similar, but at the same time it's very hard to get a larger number of people to get into to accept and to use a tool. So
You want to participate. You really want to.
and that is also why I believe that still people are tend to stay in the Facebook groups, even if you know that there are far better collaborative tools out there, because the social power is much more, it's much bigger than you think. So instead, maybe you share in a thread instead of using a collaborative tool where the information is better systematized. And it's that's part of this digital social division, how to navigate the landscape. I don't see any perfect solution, but the more we can open up these spaces and navigate, the better it will be. Any comment there? Otherwise, I think we might end for today. We have been up now for 1.5 hours there, and we can continue. You can share about your projects there in the different groups, and you can also, of course, connect with each other directly when you're interested. That's one of the main points to that people get to know what you are doing here.
So what's this comment about the late in the about an incubator?
Incubator. Analytics. Okay.
For an incubator for social enterprise.
David, do you have some?
Yeah, I thought like I was thinking to start some kind of kind of impact school. So for people like us, so if somebody wants to do like something, start something like social project, but don't know how to start or from where to start, like Rafi or Maggie has discussed about, and as well as for the people like me or people like other who already have a decent social project or something in mind, so we can create some kind of impact school or kind of a navigation school, which school is is combine all of the like incubator accelerator facility, as well as the funding, crowdfunding, mentors from the people, the people who's working here, like Bert or David or Kevin or Kevin Jones as well. So it's a kind of thing, it's kind of not just incubator or accelerator, it's a mix of everything, for the impact change makers like us. So this is the basic rule, and we can set up some small centers in the every country. For example, if I'm living in India, so we can create a small center here in India, and like we have some in Sweden, or we have some in like in US or Africa, like this. So this is the basic idea. I have idea. I can give you the more detail, more things of it with the brainstorming, as well as you guys also do some brainstorming on this idea. But I think it's a wonderful idea, because right now we are just limited with the Facebook group and the webinars and all the things. So that's why I'm saying like you can start something on ground, so which can help the people together on the different country. This is the basic
That's a great
idea
idea.
right now.
And part of the, I think, prototyping we do now to find out the different possibilities. So we are in that stage, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I think I will need to go. I will end the broadcast for today, but I can leave the link open if you want to continue the discussion for some time. So, bye from Sweden and Gothenburg, and have a continuing nice weekend wherever you are. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Bert.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bert.
Thanks, everyone.